The Alchemist, a very popular and famous book written by Paulo Coelho. This is a symbolic book. It doesn't talk about Paulo Coelho's life like some of the other books, but he tries to teach people with symbolism. Paulo Coelho himself was very much interested in alchemy and dabbled in it for about 11 years. He wanted to discover the elixir of life himself. He wanted eternal youth, eternal life. But in 1973, he went into the dark part of magic, which literally destroyed his life. And since then, he stopped for about 6 years, wanting nothing to do with alchemy. And then again, in 1981, he found another teacher, and he went back studying, but this time by himself. This book describes the life of a young man from Andalusia who wanted to travel and see the world. He always thought that beyond the mountains, beyond the valleys, the place he couldn't see would surely be different, should surely be magical, more beautiful than where he was. So he wanted to go everywhere. His father tried to tell him that just like foreigners who come to Andalusia thinking they will find different kind of life, different kind of people, trying to change something in their lives, they would always leave being exactly the same as they were when they came. But this young boy had hopes, or maybe he just had a dream that he would find something different. And even if it wasn't different, he wanted to know that for himself. So with his father's help and the money he gave him, he decided to buy some sheep and start traveling. This book is full of teachings and messages. Usually, if you ask people what they remember from this book or what the point was, they will all say that when you're looking for something in your life far away from you, usually you find it next to you. Well, that is the main teaching, but there are so many other very important points that are worth mentioning. Even the simple thing that Santiago notices at the beginning of the book, saying how the sheep don't even realize that they are walking on a new road every day, that the fields are changing or the seasons are changing, and they only care about food and shelter. And then he stops to realize that maybe people are the same way. Maybe all they want is food and shelter. Actually, that is very true, because the main important thing for everyday life would be food, shelter, and safety. And the sheep of Santiago have safety because they have Santiago next to them, protecting them from the wolves. So once you have that, you don't really need anything. But then for people, once they have that, then they need something more. And that is where the game starts, the game of life. Because if people get all the essentials, then they start thinking, unlike the sheep. The sheep are very easy to control, and they can be controlled just with one dog. But people, once they have food, they have shelter, they have safety, and they start using their mind, that is when they stop being controllable.